Welcome to Wednesday, the 31st of January, 2024. My name is Jimmy Bradbury. I help entrepreneurially minded people who feel stuck in a 9-to-5 job or in a business they own that feels like a job to start sharing their knowledge and experience with other people, help those people move forward in their lives and get paid doing it. My goodness, we're at the end of the first month in 2024. Hasn't January gone so quickly? I don't know about you. It certainly has for me. It only seems like yesterday it was New Year's Eve. I was in a group with my students who were just starting their journey to build an online course this morning. And we were going through what I believe are two key things that you need to have in place if you want to build a successful online business. The first one is mindset. And I know a lot of people talk about this, but the second one that's not really talked about a lot is a deep desire to learn, understand, and to master new skills. You know, particularly if you're coming out of a 9-to-5 job and you're looking to build an online business, or maybe you've already got an online business, there are certain skills that you need to learn, but you really need to have that desire, that passion to want to learn them. And that's actually tied into your mindset. And what I see a lot of it happening is that the skills that you need to build an online business, there's not lots of them, but let's take, for example, the tech. You know, whether shooting this video or shooting if you want to shoot videos, or it's a platform that you're using, usually that throws up some challenges for people to want to learn, to want to understand, and then to want to master the skill that's required in those particular areas. As I say, there's not lots of new skills that you need to learn, but you need to have a desire to learn the skills that are necessary to build an online business. So I want to share with you some of my insights on how I've approached it. I think one of the things I learned is that probably about a year and a half into my online business. So we're talking about early 2019. I started in 2018, at the beginning of 2018, when I came out of a 9-to-5 job after 25 years. One of the things, I actually sold myself short. I don't mind saying this because I tell it to all of my students so they don't make the same mistakes. I think that one of the big things where I sold myself short was I thought I could actually do this myself. I thought I could get the manuals, I thought I could get the training courses, and I thought I could actually do it myself. I'm talking now about the mindset, yes, but also mastering the new skills. So let's just take an example. You know, shooting video. I thought, you know, I'd just go and practice and practice and practice. And when I realized that actually, if you really want to know how to do it and to do it properly, is to get a mentor or to get a coach to do it, to help you do it. That is the fastest route to mastering a skill. And I know for a lot of people, they understand that. And it's common sense. It is common sense for people, but it's not common practice. It's not common practice. And it certainly wasn't for me. So I'll speak for myself back in 2018 and 2019. And it was only till I said, if I actually want to take this seriously, because, you know, after 18 months, I was on the point of giving up in the online world. It was just for me too hard. I wasn't making any progress. I was launching courses and programs. Nobody was buying them. And I was on the point, which is unusual for me, of actually giving up. And it was only when I said, you know, if I want to do this properly, I need to get some help. So I reached out to mentors, and then I invested in coaches. Now, I am talking about significant sums of money. It's not 1,000 or 10,000. It's way more than that. Well, that's me, because I actually wanted to do this and do this properly. And it was only till, you know, I had my first lesson with my first coach. I'll never forget it, back in 2019. I spent huge amounts of money with her. I learned more in that 1 hour about what it is I needed to do to master the skills that I could then implement them properly than I learned in that 18 months previous to that, trying to figure it all out myself. So number one, get mentors and get coaches. And get mentors and coaches who've actually walked the path. There's lots of people actually talking about it. There's lots of people who are reading the theory about it. There's lots of people who've got all these different hacks. but they actually haven't walked the path. So for example, if you want to build an online business of 6 figures, 100,000, get somebody to coach you who's earning 6 figures. Don't just get any coach. If you want to build a business, like there's no limit on this. If you want to build a business online of $1 million, $1 million, €1 million, £1 million, get somebody who's already doing it. Not somebody who's talking about it, but somebody who's actually doing it and actually living it and is on that path. And they're just a couple of steps ahead of you. Not somebody that's kind of like maybe 10 years ahead of you, probably too far away. Get somebody who's maybe a year, a couple of years ahead, maybe 5 years ahead of you. That's my advice. It's the best investing you can make. So get mentors and coaches. Number 2, if you want to develop the mindset, because we're talking about mindset today and learning new skills and mastering skills. Second thing is get yourself into masterminds. What are masterminds? So masterminds were first talked about in 1937. If you haven't read the book, go and read it. Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. One of the best books I've ever read. In that book, there's a whole chapter that talks about masterminds, getting groups of people together to master topics and help each other. So getting those like-minded people together to be able to work and support each other and to be able to help them move forward in the journey that they're on. For me, that was, as well as a coach, again, I invested huge amounts in masterminds, was a great investment. That was number 2. Number 3, coming back to what I talked about earlier, yes, you need to get the online courses. But the challenge with the online courses is there's a lot of self-training. And unless you've got a deep motivation and a deep discipline, and you've got a routine, and you've got real intention in your life, then they're brilliant. But a lot of people don't have those things in their life. And then it becomes a challenge. And what they say is, oh, the online course doesn't work, or they give up, or they don't go all the way through the course. So make sure also to get online courses, but make sure you have that intention, that routine, that accountability, that discipline that you need to go through it. Number 4, read the books. Absolutely. Whether it's Think and Grow Rich or any of the books that are going to help you with ideas that will help your business, then yes, read the books. And today, the 5th thing is podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts relevant to what I do. Really important. And then the 6th one, which is, I believe is the technical skill besides the video. And you don't have to do video for an online business. I just love video, but I had to get a coach to help me do it. The other thing with online courses that people, having now coached hundreds of people who've gone through my courses, the biggest challenge also is mastering the skill around the online platform. And I think the online platforms that you use, I use Kajabi. There's many other great ones out there. ClickFunnels, Thinkific, Kitara. There's many other platforms out there. But whatever platform you choose, I think it's really important that you bring these 2 points together that I'm talking about today, which is mindset and wanting to master the skill of that platform that you're using. So mindset, for example, I don't know how many people that have started in my coaching program and they say, Jimmy, I don't want to use a platform where I've got to spend $150 a week, or no, not a week, a month. My Kajabi is $150, $190 a month. But I don't know how many people have said that to me. That is mindset. That is 100%, no argument, that is mindset. Because what they want to do is they want to use WordPress. And the reason why they want to use WordPress, and I have nothing against WordPress or Wix. I have nothing against them. It's just, you're comparing there the hobbyist versus the professional business strategist and who wants to actually be serious about building an online business. Because Kajabi, for an example, is $150, $190 a month. And most people won't do it because they've got a scarcity mindset. They're thinking about, oh, $150, $190. I can't spend that kind of money. That's a scarcity mindset because The person with the abundant mindset will say, how can I invest $190 a month to be able to make $190,000 a year, or a month even, you could do in the online world. But they don't think like that. They're stuck in the $190 a month for the system. So that's mindset. So that's one part of the platform. The second part is mastering the skill, the desire to master the skill. So many people say, oh, I'll get somebody else to do it. I'll get one of my team to do it. I'll delegate it out. I'll outsource it. Now, I'll share with you my own experience. I did that at the beginning. I did it at the beginning because I didn't want to learn the skill. Inherently, subconsciously, I didn't want to learn the skill. But I took it back after 2 months. So now we're talking about mid-2018, I took it back. And since that day that I took it back, I don't know, I've done 3,000, maybe 4,000 hours on Kajabi. Like, no joking, 3,000 or 4,000 hours. Like, I spend some time every day, virtually every day, on Kajabi. What that's enabled me to do is really learn the skill so that then I can actually delegate it. Not the other way around, which is what most people do. They delegate it. They don't know what they're delegating because they haven't learned the skill. And that's why it's so important to learn the skill. And then, yes, when you've learned the skill, delegate it. But don't be afraid to master the skills that are needed for an online business. Have that desire. Have that real desire to want to do it. And today, most of the systems that we use, they're easy. It's click and drop. Like, what I do is I get 2 browsers out. One browser to learn it, the other browser to do it. Learn, do, learn, do, learn, do, learn, do. That's what I do. And I've just disciplined myself to do it. And I'll tell you what now, because I can teach Kajabi to all of my students. I'm not one who says, well, we'll get somebody else in to do it. I actually teach my students because I build all my pages, I write all my emails, I do all my funnels, I do all of that. I don't say that to brag, it's just because I've done the hours. And that's what's important when you're building an online business. Otherwise, just get caught in this kind of waffling about talking about words and having all these different hacks. But when you actually need to do the work, you've got to have to master the skill. And in order to master the skill, you need to have the mindset to do it. So they all come together. So I wanted to share that with you today because I think it's really important, particularly in the online world. You've got the mindset that is not scarcity, but it's an abundant mindset. Remember, today, there's 4.9 billion people online. If you're watching this and you're on LinkedIn, there's 1 billion people. We don't need to have a scarcity mindset about where we're going to find people. There's only 1 billion people on LinkedIn. Like, how many more people do you need? There's only 4.9 billion people in the world that are online today. Like, that's abundance. Have that abundant mindset rather than the scarcity mindset. That's one. The other is have a real deep desire to want to learn, understand, and master the skills that are needed for an online business. As I say, there's not a lot of them, but the ones that you need to learn, you need to do them yourself before you delegate them to somebody else. So hopefully that's been helpful today. I think, for me, it's just kind of the lessons I've learned over the last 5 years that I want to share with you. And I don't know if you're aware of it, but every Thursday, the first Thursday of every month, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 1st of February. It's a Thursday. I do a free training session on Zoom to a group. You just need to register. It's free. And I'd love to have you there. If you haven't been on my sessions before, they're amazing value, I believe. I know a lot of people love them. If you want to learn the online marketing skills, I've learned these from my coaches, my mentors, my masterminds that I've been in. I just share them with the people that join. If you want to join those, I'll put a link below here, and I'd love to see you in there. Hopefully that's been helpful. Go out there today, learn the skills, develop the abundant mindset, and you will succeed online. Hopefully that's been helpful. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.